How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and today we're going to be talking about Ideanomics, ticker symbol IDEX. And why am I so excited to talk about this video? For the 10K challenge, I was able to build out my first position in that portfolio for you guys. The reason why I'm doing the 10K challenge in the first place, I'm just trying to show you guys, if you have a small account or you don't have a lot of money, how you can invest in certain stocks and the strategy that you should have when you are doing it. You'll see a screenshot that'll show that, hey, my position in it anyways. But what I want to talk about is the opportunity. Anyone who's interested in IDEX, this is a company that's in the EV space as well as the fintech space. So there's some big time opportunity in this company. They had their earnings recently and we saw some improvements in the fact that they decided to pivot into the EV and fintech space. We're seeing that they're having some success, right? So that's what we want to see going forward. But what I'm going to be doing in this video, we know that we like to cover articles that have a bullish perspective and a bearish perspective. This is important if you are a shareholder, so you know what you are getting yourself into. So we're going to be going over that article in this video, and we're also going to be doing a technical analysis just in case the stock pulls back even further, some areas that you might want to take a look at. And if you're doing any short-term trades or any swing trades, hey, you might be able to see some opportunities for yourself. And then afterwards, we're also going to be taking a look at the short interest. You guys already know I always do value-packed videos. So after all that is done, of course, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's get into it. So we're going to be going over this recent article for Ideanomics that came out on April the 12th at 6 a.m. So here it is. Ideanomics has its fingers in a lot of profitable pies. IDEX stock is more of a sum of its parts story than an EV or fintech play. So let's get into it. The pandemic couldn't have caught electric vehicle and fintech play Ideanomics stock at a worse time. Before the pandemic, this was a company in transition. In fact, in 2019 was a year of change for the company. It transitioned away from its oil and electronics trading units to focus on EV and financial services. Last year, despite the pandemic-induced weaknesses, Ideanomics was able to lay the foundation for 2021 and beyond. IDEX stock has massive upside potential, which it continues to hone through its strategic acquisitions. IDEX stock has had a volatile run in the past few months, flipping in and out of popularity, but it's up more than 250% in the past year. Dilution remains a problem, though, as the company looks to expand its portfolio. Ideanomics recently placed a couple of short-term notes to investment company YA2PN worth $145 million collectively. Additionally, it entered into a new agreement with Roth Capital Partners to sell up to $150 million of its shares. Even still, this move is likely to push its stock price higher for the foreseeable future with its strong performance. Strong EV sales growth. Ideanomics pivoted to EV and financial services back in 2019, which saw its revenue decline 88% for the year. Perhaps the most significant development in that move was the formation of its Mobile Energy Global division. The division works on the migration of commercial fleet operators from gasoline-powered vehicles to EVs, which have shown a marked increase in sales. Revenues for the year were at $26.8 million, which came in significantly lower than 2019. A large part of this is due to the company still reorganizing its business and the pandemic. The high point of the results were its EV revenues, which were up $19.5 million compared to $2.7 million in 2019. This represents a massive increase of $16.8 million, or roughly 600%. These revenues included sales of the company's charging and battery systems, which form a critical element of its EV ecosystem. The Ideanomics S2F2C sales to financing to charging business model will continue to gain traction this year and beyond with its strategic acquisitions. So this is something that we spoke about on the channel as well, and it was great to see Ideanomics having success in the EV sector, especially since this is the area where they decided to pivot into, and it's going very well. Strategic acquisitions. Ideanomics has been on an acquisition spree in the past few months. It acquired online real estate estate transaction services company Timios back in November. Timios generated $60 million revenues year to date as of October 2020. It is expected to provide solid gains to Ideanomics with the tailwinds in the housing market alongside expansion efforts. Furthermore, Ideanomics acquired Utah-based fleet charging solution company Wave in January. Wave offers 250 kilowatt charging pads. Additionally, the company is working to develop a 500 kilowatt and a 1 megawatt system. Apart from these noteworthy acquisitions, Ideanomics also invested in Solectrac, an electric truck manufacturer planning a commercial release in 2022. Additionally, it invested $15 million in Silk EV, which is a vehicle engineering and design company. Moreover, Ideanomics has also invested $13.2 million in Energica Motors, an electric motorcycle developer based in Italy. Bottom line on IDEX stock. IDEX stock may have been up and down recently, but it still has improved significantly in the past year. Ideanomics has so far been impressive in its transition toward the EV and fintech business. The company has made some pertinent strategic acquisitions that are likely to pay dividends down the line. Its financials remain strong, and it has set the stage up for a solid 2021 and beyond. If you are new to this channel, one of the things we love to do, we like to look at articles that both offer a bullish perspective as well as a bearish perspective. And it was great seeing this read on Ideanomics, as they are doing the things that they need to do for a successful growth of the company. So let's get into doing this technical analysis for Ideanomics, ticker symbol IDEX. So we're going to be taking a look at the overall performance on the day. So it ended up finishing the day at $2.73, being down 7.46%. When we take a look at the ranges on the day, on the low it ended up hitting $2.65, and then on the high ended up reaching $2.91, as you can see right over here. So we already knew the market conditions. Hey, a lot of stocks ended up getting hit really hard, and we could definitely see this for IDEX, because you could see the way how it just was trending below that 21-day EMA, and this is an indicator that we use to show, hey, is there a bullish trend that actually was going down for today? And there obviously wasn't. As you can see right over here, it kind of made some headwinds and started getting back above the 21-day, which was actually good to see. But again, that's just only up like around 3 cents. So what we want to take a look at is support. So we see that that area of $2.65 was a strong area of support. Even if we go up even further and we take a look, hey, this $2.70 area where we finish is where IDEX needs to be, right at that 21-day. So what we want to do is take a look at the 3-month 1-hour chart very quickly here to see if, hey, if it ends up pulling back even further, what are some other areas to look out for? So we already know that $2.65 area is holding up fairly decently well. But the next area to look out for would also be here around $2.60, and another area here around $2.40. And if this area ends up breaking, let me just kind of bring in the chart a little bit further. You can see here we definitely have some strong areas of support right here at this $2.12 level, and we have some areas of support right here at this $2 level. Is it going to pull back that far? We don't know, but if it does, you best believe I do believe in Ideanomics long term, so I will be adding to my position. So I just look at this as an opportunity, because again, we've already seen that, hey, financials are looking fairly strong for the past earnings report, and the fact that they've been pivoting into the EV and fintech space, it's been working out very well for them. So I do believe in the long-term prospects, so this is why I see this as opportunities to buy. Even if you take a look at the RSI down below, it is well under 30. It's at 24. We know if it's under 30, we're getting it on the cheap. So again, this is great value for anyone that's looking at IDEX long term. But so what I'm looking forward to and I want to see this week is actually it going back above this $3 level. So now this is an area of resistance we need to pay attention to. But the good thing about it, we also know this is an area of support, right? We want to see resistance turn into support. And since it's done this in the past, I have no doubt in my mind it will be able to do it. I'm looking forward to seeing it either this week or next week. I know there's going to be some things going down this week inside the market. So, hey, you just got to keep an eye on it and see what happens. But we already know the potential potential of IDEX we already seen back on February the 9th. It ended up reaching up here to $5.44. So I'm definitely looking forward to see where IDEX can end up near the end of the year. And for my price target, if we're taking into consideration before the end of this year, I would definitely like to see it back at that $5 level. So we're now on fintel.io for Ideanomics. We want to take a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest. So we know for institutional owners, they have a total of 78. So not too bad at all. Still a good amount of institutions that are showing interest in Ideanomics. And as we scroll down on the page, you know, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So let's go far back as, let's say, middle of February, because we want to take a look at the most recent of data. So we can see right here from the middle of Feb, we can even include, let's just, you know what, let's just do the middle, let's just do the 15th actually, or the 12th. Let's just do the 12th. So you can see there's a good amount of institutions that have opened up positions in Ideanomics and have been showing a lot of interest. In this period of time from February the 16th even to February the 12th, we only had 2 institutions that ended up closing out. But as we scroll up, we see a lot of institutions making adjustments, making changes to their holdings in regards to adding. But again, we can see right here in the beginning of March, we have Blackstone that added to their fund as well. We have Carroll Financial Associates, Regal Wealth Group, Subsequenta. So there's definitely JP Morgan and Chase, as we can see right over here. It looks like they got a cost basis of $1.43, which is pretty good. So they're definitely been adding. We have Citadel here. So these are just some to take a look at. And I'm definitely seeing that a lot of institutions are fairly bullish on Ideanomics for the most part. Now we want to take a look at the short interest. So the short interest, or the short volume ratio, is at 11%. So you know what? That is not high at all. We know when it's above 21%, then, you know, there's a higher likelihood of us seeing a short squeeze. I know a lot of you like to hear and know that type of information, but knowing that it's at 11% kind of tells us overall, in general, there's good sentiment for Ideanomics. So that's good as well. Now, if we take a look at short shares available, it's around 600,000. The short borrow fee rate is at 3.35%. If we take a look at the history in regards to how the short volume ratio was, right now currently, which we've seen here, it's at around 11%, but it's definitely been as high as 29% as we saw here on April the 1st. And then when we look at the most recent activity, even going as far back as March 26th, this is definitely a significant area, but it definitely has changed a lot. So that's why I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some more upside movement in IDEX going forward. So for my final thoughts on IDEX, I just love the long-term prospects for this company. We already seen that they hit highs reaching all the way into that $5 range. The price where it's at and where I bought it at, I ended up buying it at around $2.71. But then if you add on the charge in regards to commissions and stuff, ended up being like around like $2.75. But again, I'll post that up on the screen. But I just look at it like this. I'm going to slowly build my position over time because I'm looking forward to seeing some pullbacks. If it pulls back, then I'll add even more. This is a great strategy because at least you know if a stock pulls back even further, even if it's not IDEX, you still have some cash on the side to take advantage of that dip. That's part of the strategies that we love to talk about on this channel, and it's one of the strategies I think anyone can use, and it's very, very helpful. Now, in regards to Ideanomics and what it's looking like and what do I see for as far as price targets for the end of this year, I would love to see it come back to reclaim touching into that $5 level before this year is over, and if it goes up higher, even better. Why are my expectations here? Because you know what? I'm planning to actually hold this stock for a while. I see the long-term potential in Ideanomics, but I will make sure, because I know it does come with a lot of volatility, I will make sure I'm protecting my profits on that run-up. I know you guys have probably realized this. I know many of your portfolios are down, or there are certain stocks you were in and you just kind of, you know what, just said, you know what, I'm done with this. Just make sure whenever you're up in a stock by a good amount, especially what we had in that bull year of 2020, is making sure you protect your profits. Because if you're able to protect your profits, you had opportunities where you could have bought back in, or you could have bought in other opportunities that presented itself inside the market as well. So that's just something that I want you guys to be aware of. And for Ideanomics, if it pulls back further, again, I like it. I know many people may not want to hear that, but I just see that as an opportunity where I can add even more to my position in a company where, you know what, I feel like has a lot of potential moving forward. We also see that they have a lot of capital on hand. We covered this in the article just to continue on that. We also see the segments that they're getting in. Energica, so electric motorcycles, Soltrack, right? Also taking a look at how they've been expanding their operations, Wave, wireless charging. Again, this is a company making a ton of moves. And then as far as the fintech space is concerned, of course, the success in the EV space is kind of overclouding what's going on in the fintech area. But at the same time, I have no doubt in my mind, Ideanomics will have some more plans in place, maybe some acquisitions, maybe taking stakes in more companies. Hey, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. And I hope you guys are excited as well. We'll talk soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.